What's up, Eagles fans? Welcome into the All-22 review. I'm Fran Duffy, and today we're going to take a look back at the Eagles' decisive win against the Jacksonville Jaguars. 5 turnovers on defense, over 200 yards on offense on the ground. And we got to start with this rushing attack. Offensive line, outstanding. The run game, Miles Sanders, Jalen Hurts, Trey Sermon, Kenny Gainwell, everybody outstanding up front. But for me, just kind of walking away from watching the film, I thought this was a clinic on spread run game tactics. And I thought the Eagles did an outstanding job of managing the backside of the defense. What do I mean by that? Well, a lot of different ways to be able to do that. Here's exactly what I saw from the film. The Eagles put on a clinic on Sunday, spread run game running out of 11 personnel. That's 1 running back, 1 tight end, 3 receivers. And when you spread the defense out like this, what you get is really defined box counts. And if you look here on this play, the Eagles have 5 blockers, 5 offensive linemen, 6 defenders in the box. How do you account for that 6th man? How do you account for that extra guy in the box if you're an offense? Well, again, the Eagles did it in a number of ways on Sunday. And the first one we're going to look at, this is early in the game. This is a simple RPO. The threat of the RPO on the backside that holds that 6th defender out of harm's way. And now Miles Sanders can put his foot in the ground, get downhill without the threat of that backside linebacker. So you get the Eagles nearing a first down. A little bit later, same idea. You've got the heavy box here from Jacksonville, a little bit of a heavier box because you got the tight end in line, but the threat of quarterback run comes into play. You've got Jalen Hurts reading that defender, but 2 guys go with Jalen Hurts. A misread by the linebacker at the second level. Miles Sanders runs for a first down. Later in the game, orbit motion, Devontae Smith running before the snap behind the quarterback and the running back. Look at what that does to the second level after the zone read. So again, factoring in all of these elements, you have 3 defenders all cutting off the backside. Miles Sanders puts his foot in the ground, gets north-south, and he's able to pick up a first down. And then you just see this touchdown run, and this is just like a culminating factor. This is 13 personnel, 1 back, 3 tight ends, tackle overset. Lane Johnson's over on the left side. This is zone read, but you've got the power lead element up front with 13 personnel. You've got Miles Sanders going to take this ball from Jalen Hurts. The threat of the RPO is there. The threat of the zone read is there. 3 defenders are taken out in the backside. Now Sanders, all he has to do is put this foot in the ground and get downhill, and the Eagles are able to reach the end zone. The Eagles did an outstanding job of accounting for these backside defenders with the way that they attacked Jacksonville's defense. It showed up time and time and time again in this game. So again, a lot of ways to be able to control the backside of the opposing defense, and the Eagles found all kinds of ways to check that box in this win over the Jaguars. Now, it wasn't just schematics, because I think when you go into the trenches and you look at the offensive line, Lane Johnson, outstanding. Jason Kelce, outstanding. Landon Dickerson really stood out. Some outstanding highlights from this group up front. I thought there were 2 really important plays here, both touchdown runs, where you could see the front side of the offensive line and the backside both excelling at the point of attack. You couldn't ask for better play from this Eagles offensive line than what you got on Sunday, and there's some just great execution by the 5 guys in the trenches on these plays. 5 offensive linemen in the game, no tight ends in line. You got a heavy box. You got 6 defenders in this box, but look at how Jacksonville responds to the threat of QB run. 3 defenders in the backside that the Eagles don't have to block. That leaves you 3 on the play side. Landon Dickerson's getting up to the second level. Jason Kelce's pulling in the hole. He's acting like almost like a fullback on this play. Great job by Isaac Seumalo and Lane Johnson creating a lane for Miles Sanders. Devontae Smith's in there. Jason Kelce, he's cleaning up. Look at the excitement from Devontae Smith as Miles Sanders goes into the end zone. Just outstanding execution from this offensive front. Then, later in the game, this one's going to be a touchdown for Kenny Gainwell. A little bit of a different front. You've got Dallas Goedert in there in line. So a 6-man front for the Eagles. You've got an extra defender in the box. Once again, we're just going to split this defense in half. 3 on one side, 3 on the right. That extra defender, that's Jalen Hurts' man on this replay. He cannot be right. So the front side, they do their job. Jalen Hurts, he does his job. So what do you get? You get some post-snap movement, a little stunt here. This can kill this zone run play, but look at the job Landon Dickerson and Jack Driscoll do, passing this stunt off, and then look at Gainwell putting his foot in the ground and cutting off of Dickerson's backside. He makes the safety miss. He waltzes into the end zone. The execution up front, nearly flawless from this Eagles offensive line. And as the run game goes, we know play-action football often follows, and that's exactly what you got from the Eagles in this game. A number of really impressive play-action throws, some of them underneath, some of them at the intermediate area, including to A.J. Brown. We're going to get to one of those plays, but just exactly how do they set that up? We'll start this off with Miles Sanders' longest run of the day. You can't talk about the run game without also talking about the play action pass game. And here's a good example. 11 personnel, 1 running back, 1 tight end, 3 receivers on the field. This is split zone from the Eagles. You've got slant flat to the field side. So you've got a 2-man route combination to the right side of the field. And this is just an easy handoff. Jalen Hurts gives it to Miles Sanders. Miles makes a great cut here. Plays peekaboo with the linebacker, sticks his foot in the ground, and he's able to jump cut outside. And it takes this for 35 yards, longest run of the day. Later, 11 personnel. What do you see here? It's the same action. Split zone action. You've got the same slant flat combo to the field side. This time, Jalen Hurts reads that defender, and he's pulling the trigger here, puts it right on A.J. Brown, who takes this across midfield to move the chains. Just outstanding synergy here from the Eagles' run game with their pass game. A lot of things are going to look the same, not just run game play action, but you factor in the RPOs as well. If you're a defense, you're not sure what's coming at you when this Eagles offense gets on the field. All right, so you get some complementary football there with the run game and the pass game working with really, really good synergy. That was the case for most of the afternoon in the rain on Sunday. Now, when you look at the rest of the Eagles pass game, I thought there were some really good examples, not just of the Eagles running the same play and being able to hit different receivers within those same concepts, but also running some change-ups off of their fastball. The Eagles run a number of plays multiple times in this matchup against the Jaguars, and the Eagles were able to throw some wrinkles in as well just to keep the defense on its toes. Here are 2 examples of the Eagles running some similar concepts. Let's take a look at 4 plays here. This one's early in the game. 12 personnel, so you got 2 tight ends. It's a YY set to the boundary side, and the Eagles are running 2 Ys vertical, so both tight ends getting vertical down the field with an arrow route, an angle route out of the backfield from Miles Sanders. He takes this from Jalen Hurts, and he is going to run for a first down. Outstanding job. Later in the game, they run the same play. YY verticals with the Texas route underneath, this time to Kenny Gainwell. Look at how Jacksonville responds. They're going to both crash down on the Texas route. That leaves Dallas Goedert wide open over the seam. Jalen Hurts hits him for a first down. That was a big first down late in this game. Now, Dallas also caught a handful of screen passes in this game, and this is exactly what we see on this one. You have a little bit of a bunch set. The Eagles in a 4x1. You have a now screen with a slant at the bottom, and that's what Dallas Goedert's just going to catch this ball, and he's going to run for a near first down. Nice gain there early in the series. Now, a little bit later in the game, what do you see? Bunch set to the bottom. You've got A.J. Brown running a slant to the top. Jalen's going to look to his left, but look at this linebacker. He's peeking here, number 33, peeking towards Goedert. That window's open. That screen, the threat of that screen, just enough to keep that middle of the field open. Jalen Hurts hits A.J. Brown for a first down. All this without even talking about a guy that has proven to be one of the X factors for this team, and that's quarterback Jalen Hurts. Pivotal moment in this game. The Eagles are down 14-0. They get the ball back on a turnover. They drive down the field. They reach the end zone, but then it comes back due to a penalty. And now they've got 1st and goal from outside the 20-yard line. You figure they're going to have to settle for a field goal, but Jalen Hurts does an outstanding job on 3rd and long to set the team up for points. Here's that 2-play sequence to get the Eagles into the end zone. Pivotal moment in this game. 3rd and goal from the 16-yard line. It's the 2nd quarter. The Eagles are being aggressive here. They're trying to attack the end zone, try and get this ball in for a touchdown. Jalen Hurts drops back. It's a little bit of a muddy picture. The middle of the field's wide open. He doesn't like what he sees with the sail concept outside, so he takes off. Really good scramble here. Gets them inside the 5-yard line. The Eagles don't hesitate. They say, we are going to go, and this is 4-down territory as they're trying to reach the end zone. You can just see all the green grass here. Once that Jalen Hurts drops back, he sees that grass, and with the picture being muddy outside the numbers, he's going to keep this one, and again, gets the Eagles inside the 5. Very next play, 4th and goal. Eagles got to get in the end zone here. You got some motion, a couple quick game concepts to try and see if they can put this in through the air, but Jalen drops back, and again, it's a cloudy picture. A lot of white jerseys back there in the secondary, so Jalen's going to put this on himself. He's going to take off, and he finishes there on the goal line. Devin Lloyd is a big, strong, powerful linebacker, extremely violent striker, and he's shown that so far in his young NFL career. Well, Jalen takes off, lowers the shoulder, takes this hit, but powers into the end zone. Jalen Hurts put the team on his back on these final 2 plays of this drive, gets the team into the end zone for the first touchdown of the game. All right, so that's it for the offensive side of the ball. Let's now go over to defense where, again, 5 turnovers of quarterback Trevor Lawrence. You had a handful of fumbles. You had the interception late in this game as well. But we have to start with Hassan Reddick. The Philly guy comes up in a big way here for this Eagles defense. 4 tackles, all of them solo, 2 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries. How did number 7 do it? Let's take a look at some of my favorite plays. It's not just the sacks here. You got run game and pass game elements all to watch here in this cut-up. Let's take a look at Hassan Reddick in his day against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Off the edge here late in the game, second half. Look at the push-pull technique here to beat Jawan Taylor off the edge. Gets home for the sack of Trevor Lawrence and gets the ball on the ground. It's something he has been good at all throughout his NFL career, is getting the ball back for his team. And that's exactly what happens here. Game-clinching play, fourth quarter, 8-point game. Again, wins with a low side move, a bull rush, and he sticks that paw out and he gets the ball on the ground from Trevor Lawrence. Outstanding job by Haason Reddick there to seal this victory for the Eagles. But it's not just the pass game where Reddick makes an impact. He's been really good against the run as well. Watch him set a strong edge here against tight end Evan Ingram, forces the cutback here, gets off the block, and he's able to make the play on his own. Number 7, living in the backfield. Then dropping in pass coverage. Look at him here, get underneath this crosser, deter the throw from Trevor Lawrence, and that allows TJ Edwards to get home for a sack early in the third quarter. And then the big turnover in the game early on. It's fourth down, again with a bull rush. Fletcher Cox wins off the ball. Hassan Reddick, both guys force Lawrence off his spot. Lawrence doesn't protect the football, and Cox comes away with the fumble recovery. That started with the pressure from both Cox and Hassan Reddick. Reddick, really strong performance in week 4. So looking across the rest of this defensive line, I think you look at Fletcher Cox, he was outstanding in this football game. Javon Hargrave, really, really strong once again. You look at Brandon Graham, Josh Sweat, everybody chipped in. Run game, pass game, making impact plays. But another player who I thought had his best game to date, rookie first-round pick, Jordan Davis, number 90, showed up in the run game, in the pass game. He's making plays outside the numbers as well. Let's take a look at some of my favorite clips from number 90. I thought Jordan Davis had a really good performance here in week 4 against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Watch him here really quickly. He's able to win off the ball and get into the backfield for a TFL, the first of his career. You see him here on the goal line. Watch him stand up the center, lock out, get eyes on the football, and get home. Impact the running back Robinson at the line of scrimmage for a goal line stop. Great job there from number 90. Then also, him in pursuit, not just living here in a phone booth. Watch him track this outside run out to the outside and help get the running back to the ground outside the numbers. Great effort there from Jordan Davis. And again, watch him just stack and shed, reset the line of scrimmage, and watch the strip attempt here. Nearly tries to punch the ball out, tries to strip attempt there at the end. Jordan Davis, really impactful game on Sunday against the Jaguars. All right, so the Eagles had 9 sacks 2 games ago. They had 5 turnovers this week, a lot of that from the defensive line. And when you are playing so strong up front, you're going to see 2 things time and time again from opposing offenses: screens and draw plays. The Eagles saw plenty of them on Sunday. They did a good job defending them. Here are some of my favorite clips against screens and draws. When the Eagles defensive line is playing the way that they are, you can expect 2 things: screens and draws. Watch Javon Hargrave and Fletcher Cox here. Really impressive sprint draw from the Jaguars here, where they're going to fake the sprint out, then hand the ball to ETN. You've got a block going back the other way, but this defensive line, they read it for no gain. Fletcher Cox, Javon Hargrave, outstanding job. TJ Edwards right there as well. The defensive front, outstanding on that play. 3rd and 10. Jaguars trying for a draw play here. They're going to try and catch the Eagles off guard. The Lions were able to hit on a bunch of these in week 1. Here, Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham, they stop that draw for no gain. You see Kaiser White defeating a block. TJ Edwards getting downhill on that play as well. The Eagles defensive front, they're going to see lots of draws. And of course, lots of screens as well. Watch Brandon Graham. He's going to kind of drop in coverage here against the back with the blitz from CJ Gardner-Johnson. Hargrave, he sniffs this screened out immediately as well. So you see Brandon Graham in there. You see Hargrave in there. Look at all the green jerseys flowing to the football. Jordan Davis once again. The Eagles will see plenty of these all season long. Keep an eye out for this Sunday against Arizona as well. All right, so to wrap it up, again, outstanding play on both sides of the football in this game. A complete team victory against the Jaguars. The Eagles, the lone undefeated team in the NFL after 4 weeks. For more on the Week 5 matchup against the Arizona Cardinals, make sure you go check out the Eagle Eye in the Sky podcast. Myself, Greg Cosell, Ben Fennell, Chris McPherson, a whole list of guests. We will get you ready for Week 5. Thanks so much for joining us here on the All-22 Review. We'll see you next week.